semi-finals Fawley Challenge Cup, Sir William Borlase School against Glasgow Academy.
Attention!
Go!
The athletes, they won't be disturbed by that announcement there. They'll be concentrating in their boat. Chris Lorry has caught a crab there, the very experienced athlete from Sir William Borlase, Youth Olympic Games athlete, single sculler. He's got his blade back, but Glasgow Academy, they have been watching Borlase, and because they've been watching them, Tom, perhaps they've come across it's all go in this start of this heat of this semi-final of the Fawley Challenge Cup. And look at the Sir William Borlase boat. They need to get straight. They are heading for the booms at the moment.
So that's one example of the worst possible experience of the start you can have, particularly in a semi-final, particularly against tough opposition. The important thing now is they regain composure, relax. A few calls from the bow, get composure, get into your rhythm. They're still in the race. They didn't completely get their timing wrong. They managed to get it back quickly. Didn't catch a crab. That was the most important thing. But Glasgow should have capitalised. They should push on now. They should have got a little bit more of a lead, so they can then ease it away. But actually, looking at William Borlase, they've recaptured it incredibly well. Look at that, composed, shoulders down, working on the rhythm. They've got into a good rhythm there. That's important. That's exactly what you need to do at the start of this race, particularly later on. As it gets more choppy, you need that rhythm here.
Oh my God, Tom, that is amazing. And it is nervous moments, as you always have at the start. And then for something like that to happen, the adrenaline, as in your body, surges again. And it'll be interesting. You know, Sir William Borlase, they have done incredibly well to be on terms at the moment. We've got Glasgow Academy leading this semi-final. But, you know, we had that small upset, and, you know, the effort that the Sir William Borlase athletes will have put in, the adrenaline that will be coursing through their body. Let's see what happens later on down the race, because look at this, we're side by side and racing tight.
And they've done very well. I mean, they've managed to recapture a good pattern. We're just seeing off the start. We're going to see what happens here. The hand slip.
And looking again, Chris Lorry there in that stroke seat. He has literally just let go of his blade. It's gone over the top of the other blades, and somehow he's grabbed it back, avoided a crab. You can see the look on his face, and he's watching his other crew members so he can get it back. And look at his hand, Tom. It is not on the blade, and look at that. Oh. If he'd been in his single scull, he would have fallen in.
That would have been it.
But look at him now there. He's got his hand back on. He's up and running, and you can see his face. He's furious, but look at it. Joining the crew live again. Glasgow Academy, so William Borlase, you know, they're side by side still. This is amazing.
He was very lucky that he just hit his hand on the way forward, hit his hand on his knees, and it just knocked the blade out. Fortunately, he got caught on the top of the gates of the crew of the guy sitting behind, so didn't catch a crab. So he was able to regain it and get back into his pattern. They were looking good a minute ago. I thought they got back to a straight, strong pattern. They've just slipped out, perhaps down half a length. The important bit, this part of the race, they can't let it slip any further. You've got to keep in touch. You know, in the stern, it feels a longer distance than it does in the bows. You've got to keep in touch. Keep some of those pulls going down the boat. And particularly as you come into this last stretch, the pressure starts feeling on. Don't get hurried, particularly as the headwind comes in. Keep relaxed. Keep sending the boat away. Keep the pulls coming down. They've done incredibly well to keep in touch at this point. They've done a very good job.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the moment, it is the Glasgow Academy crew. A fantastic rowing programme up there. We've seen them come to this regatta, break records. And Seb Glenn, Callum Urquhart, Josh Armstrong, Kevin Horsberg in that crew, they are going to be able to look at the Sir William Borlase crew of Fraser Ruffle, Rufus Biggs, Ben Wright and Chris Lorry there. And looking now, Glasgow Academy, what will they be thinking?
Well, it's certainly an interesting start for them. I'm not sure whether they'd have been aware of what had happened. They probably had their own problems at the start, a bit of steering, they had to readjust. But they were in a good pattern there. And it looked like they were just focused on getting the work down. It's still quite lively. The important thing, as I was saying, in the headwind, you don't let the boat get heavy. Keep driving it on, keep the pulls coming down. This is still going to be tough. Only half a length is not enough to feel that it's easy. The pressure's still going to be there. I can remember all my races back in the past at Henley. You know, it's not over. The last third of the race, you get so many opportunities just because it's a little bit longer than usual 2K, particularly when you've got a headwind. Of course, it's another 30, 40 seconds longer than what you're used to. So effectively, you're running another 200 or 300 metres than what you normally do. So we often see some changes in the last third because of that handling, particularly the side-by-side racing. So still within half length, this is going to be close. Both crews doing a fantastic job.
Absolutely, we knew this race was going to be tight. And look, Glasgow Academy, they really are in the middle of that race. Mark Hunter, when he was here earlier, was discussing being able to get 3 boats on this course. You can see that that is possible at this moment, Tom. But look at that. Glasgow Academy are being suggested again by the umpire to move over, and they need to make sure that they stay away from the Sir William Borlase crew, because at the moment they are leading this semi-final of the Fawley Challenge Cup. It has been drama at the start. Sir William Borlase did incredibly well to get back on terms, but now Glasgow Academy, they're leading, and it's coming into the business end of the race.
Starting to look a little bit tired then, the Glasgow crew, and having to make that adjustment on the steering. The other interesting thing is they're right over on William Borlase's side, and when you're that close, it feels very intense and almost feels the margin's even closer. And then when you move back over, then the margin gets bigger. You almost feel as though you're losing touch. And it's another distraction. They've still got half a length, but they're starting to get a little bit ragged. You see some of the blazes a little bit mistimed. William Borlase still look quite relaxed. It's difficult to see how much work they're putting in. A little bit more hurried on the recovery, not quite as composed, there's a bit more on Glasgow. They're getting on the front end, they're keeping the boat lively. They're starting to look a little bit ragged. They're going to the last 250. This is going to be tight.
So William Borlase, they're up in the high 30s already. They are giving it everything they can do. We've got Glasgow Academy on the left-hand side as we're watching it. They are looking ahead, and they're also in the 40s. You can begin to see their blade work becoming apart a little bit. They're looking at the other crew.
William Borlase are moving. They're moving through. I think they've just raised the rate just a couple of pips.
And these young athletes, Tom, you know, there really is a moment where you have to focus in your boat. This is Henley Royal Regatta. It is matchmaking, but it's about each stroke at this point. It's not a time to look out at the boat. It's time to concentrate in the boat, and this is going to be a fantastic final. It's the semi-final at the moment. We've got Glasgow Academy. They've been leading this race all the way. Sir William Borlase, they had that upset at the start, but they have found the extra speed coming into the finish. We have Sir William Borlase. Somehow they've got back from that upset start. Oh my goodness, it's a tie, but we'll have to wait for the umpires on that, Tom. You've just been in the finish charge. What are the umpires saying at the moment?
Well, the closer it is, always tricky. You've got a number of stopwatches in your hand to try and pick it and look at the winner at the same time. We've got a recording, we've got video recording. I'm sure we'll go back to that. But I think William Borlase just got that in the last 100 metres.
And you see there the Glasgow Academy stroke man, his face there. He has given it everything. A proud, proud man. The crews acknowledging each other, as is the traditional here at Henley Royal Regatta.